Thank you for joining me as we watch the Bemus Stow Ferry depart from Stow. The ferry goes across the narrowest part of Chautauqua Lake, the area between the villages of Stow and Bemus Point. This section is commonly referred to as the Narrows. In 1806, William Bemus bought land on both sides of the Narrows of Chautauqua Lake. William lived on the east side of the lake, and his son Thomas lived on the west side of the lake. They used rowboats to cross the lake and visit one another. In 1811, Thomas got a license to operate a flat-bottom log raft to transport people across the Narrows. The first log raft was sturdy enough to carry a horse and carriage. At first, Thomas rowed the raft across the Narrows. As the years went on, the ferry was pulled across by hand using a manila rope. When the steamboats started coming through in 1828, their paddle would hit the rope and it would break. After Thomas Bemus died, the ferry was owned by many, as it was difficult to run the service due to the steamboat rope issues. In 1887, a steel cable replaced the rope, but there were still issues with the steamboats. In those days, the ferry was pulled across by the cable, so when the ferry was traveling across the Narrows, the cable was stretched out on top of the water in front, and the steamboats would snap the line. The problem was finally taken care of when the Lake Authority issued a requirement that all boats must blow their whistle upon approaching the Narrows, so the ferry would go to shore, release the tension on the line, and the steamboat could pass over without doing damage. The first steam engine used to propel the ferry was installed in 1902, and then the first gasoline engine years later. The first automobile went across the ferry in 1906. In 1943, the Bemus Stow Ferry fell into the hands of the Chautauqua County. The county ran the operation until 1982, when the Chautauqua County Veterans Memorial Bridge went into service, all but making the ferry service obsolete. The nonprofit group, known as Chautauqua Lake Historic Vessels Company, took over the operation, and in 2006 the Sea Lion Project Limited was organized to oversee the upkeep of the ferry. The operation is made possible because of the dedication of volunteers. There is no charge to ride the ferry, but donations are accepted to help with the upkeep of the vessel. The ferry is in operation Friday evenings and Saturday and Sunday afternoons during the summer season.